Regal. Very old guitar. A very little guitar, as you'll see in a minute. Quite small. Seems to maybe have a pretty good sound to it. Somebody's did a lot of work on this guitar. It's been refinished before. And I don't know if these were maybe the original dots and they put one in here, or if it had these kind of dots. And it looks like they put a circle in there with the inlay in the middle of the circle, it looks like. But those may be the original ones and that one not. I don't know really. It's been played quite a bit. You can tell from the fingerboard wear there. Someone has dyed the fingerboard and they've, like I say, they've refinished it too. It's got a pretty good crack right here. Hey, it's been repaired also. I might try to get some glue down in that because I see one place there that's looks like it could take glue. It's thirsty for glue. The complaint is the action too high. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's really up there. So, and we don't have an adjustable truss rod, so we're going to see what we can do for it. The nut action is very high too, but they're all apparently about the same height, so it'd be ahead just to knock the nut out of it, sand off the bottom of it, rather than go in each groove and try to bring the action down that way. I'll just take the nut out, sand the bottom of the nut off, and put it back, and that will lower all 6 of them the same. And that will cure that problem. And the only other thing I see we can do is remove material from the bottom of this bridge. This is a different kind of bridge if you look at it. Never seen one quite like that before. But that's what I'm going to do. That. Take the bridge off, sand off the bottom of it. Hold on a minute. Let me reposition the camera. Hold on. So, yeah, it's good to see y'all again, by the way. I guess the first thing we're going to have to do, am I in the camera? See how little this thing is? It's really small. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice guitar. Looks like it's fairly old. There you can see the back of it. I'll get the glare out. But, yeah, we got to get the action down on this thing. It's way high. My batteries are dead in my key winder, so I'm going to do it the old time way. And have a look inside of it too. Just to see if there's any bracing or anything loose. Let's see. Yeah, I might as well loosen those up more. Hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. If you live in an area that you celebrate Thanksgiving. I gained about 40 pounds during ours. So I guess the first thing we'll do is oh, this is cool. This bridge has locating pins in it. I think you can see that. Very sharp. And they punched down into the top. There's 2 holes there. I'll just show them to you if you can see them. Yeah, I think there's one. There they are. And those 2 locating pins go in those holes. With this brass part right here, if you can see that, goes toward the neck. That's actually the bridge, the saddle actually, is what that brass part. It's got a brass saddle in it. That's very unusual. There was a sticker inside of there, and it's gone, so we don't know what it said. And it says Regal up here, but that's also a sticker, if you noticed. So, but you know, it's probably what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm just going to pull these strings out of the way here. Well, I got to pause the camera and get a hammer and a block and some tools, and I'll bring you right back just in a few minutes. Hold on. So to knock the nut out, we want to lay a towel over top the whole thing. Got a block of wood I'm going to put right against the nut. And if you have a jeweler's hammer, or get right against the nut and you want to bang it pretty good, you kind of develop a feel for this. There we go. I think she popped right. Yes, sir. You just kind of have to develop a feel for that after you do it enough times. Now, like I say, I'm going to remove material from the bottom of this, and I'm not going to bore you to death with that. And I got to remove material from the bottom of this. I've already took the measurements. We like to see about 18 thousandths nut action up here after I take about a 64th or more off of this. And this I got to measure yet. I haven't measured that yet to determine. I want to get the nut action pretty close first. Probably get it down to about 20 thousandths and stop right there, and then work on this, get the action down as low as we can. Like I say, there's no truss rod in this thing, so there's no adjustment anywhere. No adjustment at all inside or up at the peg head. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go sand this nut down, and I'll bring you back and we'll get measurements to see how much we want to drop this. Hold on. Well, I didn't figure y'all would want to miss this ingenuity here. Check that out. I'm going to suck that dust right up in there. Let's do it. Well, we're down to our mark. So now we put the bridge back on it. Put this back on. I'm not going to glue it in yet. Just set it in there. Take some measurements, and then we'll get measurements back here too, how much we need to take off the bridge. But I wanted to show you this ingenuity here. I mean, look, check that out, man. It works like a dream. So I got the thing taken down, took down, whatever. And I've already test fitted it, tuned it up to pitch and everything. And we have about 20 thousandths up here. Now that may decrease a little bit when I lower the action back here at the bridge, but I wanted to show you all how to glue your nuts together back in. I mean, yeah, that's what I meant to say. A lot of people, they do this wrong. I mean, they smear the whole thing with glue and stick it down on there, and just it's a god-awful mess. You don't need to put that much glue on your nuts, guys, or gals either, if you got nuts. I'm going to use CA glue, and I'm using the thick. I'm not going to use accelerator or anything on this. I want it to dry slow, but hell, maybe I have to get something to open it with, but I got it. Oh yes. Show you what I'm talking about. You just need a drop of glue in the very center of this thing, okay? If you can see that, that's all the glue you need, guys. That's plenty of glue to hold your nut. Now, the next guy that knocks that nut out of there will be very happy that it wasn't glued solid in there the way I get them all the time. And I mean glued tight. You don't need to put that much glue on your nuts, baby. I'm not going to hit that with the accelerator, but I just wanted to show you, if you ever take your nut out, or if you ever put your nut back in, just put a drop of glue in the center of it and put the thing on there and line it up. That's plenty of glue. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere or move. Nothing's going to happen to it. Also wanted to show you this new invention here. These are, if you can see those in the camera, are needle nose pliers. I loosened the strings up enough to put the pliers around the neck and put the strings down over the pliers. And I think Stu Mac and some of these other people make a tool that you can do this very same thing with. However much it costs, I just save myself that much because this works just as well. I do it all the time. If you're doing nut work with strings on, this just, holds the strings out of the way. See, I can move the block away. It'll stay right there. The strings are holding it there. And that keeps them away from the nut and clears all that area up so you can get in there and work or do whatever you got to do. Okay, now we got to wait for that to set up. I could hit it with the accelerator, but I don't like that shit, man. I just don't like it. I think you get a better bond if you just let the glue. It doesn't take that long to dry. Anyways, I'm going to stop here and come back tomorrow, tighten it, tune it up to pitch, and we'll get measurements here at the 12th fret and determine how much. I'll show you how we do that, how much we need to take off of this bridge. And I was thinking about that. With those bridge placement pins, I'm going to have to pull those out, I guess. I don't know how we'll do it yet, but we're going to have to remove material from the bottom of this bridge some way. And those pins are going to be right in the way. So I guess we'll see what happens when we come back. Well, check this out. You're looking down inside the guitar into a mirror back up to the top. Someone has put cleats across that crack. I knew it had been repaired, but I didn't see those cleats until I got in there with a mirror and a flashlight. Looks like 3 cleats. Now that's on this crack right here. And like I say, I can feel that a little bit. I may take probably take like one of those, a suction cup, pour a seam of glue right up the crack, and then take the cup and work that glue down inside of there, wipe it all off, and let that set up. I think I am going to do that because, like I say, if you look really close, you can see where it looks like it's tried to open up a little bit. Put a little chrome polish on that and see how it cleans up. But yeah, that crack, I'm not going to bother it because they've already got cleats inside of there. And the only other thing I could do is sand the whole top down and refinish it. I could make that crack disappear if I did all that, but that's a lot more work and a lot more money, and I don't think he wants to put a whole lot of money into this guitar. This belongs to a YouTube user, by the way. Got it in the mail, received it in the mail. I met a guy the other day, took a guitar and met a guy and gave it back to him. And we were standing out in the parking lot of a Walmart parking lot. And I saw this vehicle go by really slow. There's that ingenuity I was telling you about. See how it holds the strings out of the way? I saw this vehicle go by and it had like 5 guys in it. Okay? They went by and was looking funny, and the guy was sitting on the back of his truck playing his guitar that I'd fixed for him. And in a few minutes I saw that car coming again. And there were 5 thumbs up sticking out the window, and someone hollered, "Randy from YouTube." So I gave them a thumbs up and they went on. They didn't stop. But whoever you was, thank you, man. I guess. Yeah, I was kind of shocked to be recognized by my YouTube channel here, but someone knew me from the channel. Anyways, after this nut sets up, I'm going to string it up, tune it up to pitch, come down here at the 12th fret. After we get it up to pitch, we'll take measurements here, okay? And we're going to have to sand off the bottom of this bridge to lower the action because there's no truss rod or any adjustments. And just in case you forgot, if we want this to come down, now listen to this and pay close attention, this is important. Normally, if you want to drop this 20 thousandths at the 12th fret, you would take off 40 thousandths from the bridge. I'm going to have to take measurements here at the 12th fret and determine what calculations I'm going to have to make to know exactly how much to take off of the bridge. Like I said, normally you would take, if you want to drop this 20 thousandths, normally you would take 40 thousandths off back here. But this is a shorter scale we're dealing with, a whole lot shorter scale, so I'm going to have to figure up how much I need to take off back here to drop this whatever given amount we're chasing. So just thought I would mention that. So hold on, I'm going to let the nut dry. Gotta get your nuts dry, baby. Well, I wasn't going to show you this, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to do it or not, but this crack, I got a mirror inside there, I showed you that, and I can shine. I always take a flashlight, turn it on, and run it along the crack and look down in the mirror. And I can see if there's any separations in a crack that way, and there is, back all the way back at the very back right here, the back of the guitar. There's a little bit of light comes in right there. So what I'm going to do is just what I told you I was going to do. I'm going to drop some glue across there. Just that main area there. It's not going to take very much glue either. And then I'm going to take this little suction cup and pump that glue exactly where it needs to go. And we're going to take a rag and want to wipe it across so we don't wipe the glue out of the crack that we just put in there. In fact, I want to put just a little more. Like I say, that crack's not open. It's just right on the very back side of it, near the wall back here, is the only place it's opened up. But this water will help it too to run in where it needs to go. And there we go. Yes, sir. Getting glue where glue needs to be. Now I'm just going to leave that alone. It's got glue down inside the crack now. I'm going to let this dry overnight and come back. And tomorrow should be able to hit that flashlight and not be able to see through it anywhere. Like I say, it's still together. Just on the very back side here I could see the light coming through. And it was an open hole, you know, it was a place where there wasn't any glue. And there is glue now. I do see one other little tiny place I'm just going to take my finger and try to get it in there as good as I can. Yes, sir. And there we have success. Like I say, you never want to rub it along the crack, you want to rub it across it. That'll force even more glue down inside where it needs to go. And that looks good. Won't see no light through that crack tomorrow. So, let's wait on the glue to dry now. I was looking in the mirror down inside of here. This thing has a funky brace. It actually starts, hold on. The brace runs like sideways. It doesn't run straight across the guitar. There's no X brace in it because, you know, it's a different tailpiece, a whole different setup from normal flat tops. But it does have, it's got a heavy brace under the bridge that runs across, and then it's got a funky brace that runs at an angle back this way. It starts here and runs like that. I don't know if you can make anything out of that with that camera angle or not. So anyways, watch for part 2, guys, because I'm going to let glue dry, and I'm going to go ahead and get this up while the glue sets up. Bring you back tomorrow, and we will determine how much we got to take off of that bridge. So see you in part 2. Cheers.